How is all my friends doing on this wonderful Thursday, September the 19th, 2024, looking at different things, thinking about ideas that we have and thoughts that we have. And look at Tesla, beautiful, beautiful, just watching it go up and up and up. I like this. It's taken several days, but it's finally now recovered this gap at the 240 mark. So anyone that was long on Tesla or going long on Tesla in the hopes of recovering said gap, you are getting paid today, because this gap that we've marked many times over here is now being recovered today. And this is a thing of beauty. Beautiful to watch. Beautiful to watch. Going on some other thoughts we had. This is another beautiful thing. Beautiful. We were talking about Walmart. And Walmart finally having that nice stop hunt maneuver. And now it looks like it's coming for the pullback. And let's see what it's doing today. Market's been open for a couple hours now at the making of this video. Oh, that's gorgeous, gorgeous. So we had that high of $81, and then we had drawn out just a simple idea of, okay, we got this large trend on the weekly of going up. So at the very least, we would like to see it come back down and test the trend. So zooming in on the daily, we have our gorgeous little squiggly yellow lines there, and there it is. She's going down. It's easing on down. It's just nice to see your ideas and your thoughts just come to fruition. This is kind of like the start to how you're going to be understanding the markets and how they work and how price works. Just from watching it and experiencing things firsthand, and then over time you start incorporating a little bit of analysis into it. You work on your approach to the market and your behavior, and it's just nice to see ideas and thoughts you have come to fruition. Like, oh, that's great. It's going how I want it. Regardless of whether you're making money or not, regardless of whether you have anything in the trade, you want to start seeing your ideas play out more often than not. When you get to that point, then you start thinking, okay, let me start putting a little bit of money in this and seeing if if I have good behavior when money's on the line. That's way later in the game. It's so easy for everybody just to come in and just jump in with the money right now. I've been at this for like 4 years, okay? Going on 4 years. So if 4 years ago when I was really getting into this industry heavily, what was I telling myself back then? It's real simple. Oh, I've got to make money now. I've got to make money now. And then people that were at a higher level would say, oh, there's always going to be another trade in the future. Just, start learning, start learning your craft, learning your style, getting acclimated to the marketplace. But of course, we're stubborn as humans and we dismiss that. Instead, we just, I'm in now. I'm starting now. I'm going to start making money now. Why I can't wait 4 years to start making money? I couldn't have imagined 4 years ago knowing what I know now, and I can't imagine 10 years from now what I'm going to know at that point. Do you see? So it's going to be a thing of beauty. It's a wonderful space to be in, because it is unique in that factor. But there's, at least for me, I can only vouch for myself, there's always going to be another opportunity in the future. So if you're like, you're just starting today, or this was your first month of trading ever, and you're like, and you just have this like inert feeling that you've got to make money now, forget it, bruh. It's not, who cares? You know, get that out of your system. It doesn't matter how long it takes, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, get it out of your system. Get acclimated with the market, and when you're comfortable, then you start getting into the market. But it's just beautiful to see Walmart playing out like that. On another note, switching over to the GBP USD, I'm sure some people might be interested, but unfortunately, our little challenge account, believe it or not, has been a loss. That trade that I had posted for fun, it was a loss. Because if you remember, we had broken the trend around here, somewhere around here, we had broken the trend. So we said, okay, we're going to ride that short, you know, to what we deemed to be a demand below. And we had our stop a little bit above the high. And it took, I mean, look how long it took to stop us out. It took like 2 weeks. Price had gone down, it gone up a little bit against us, and then it went back down, but we still were in the trade. And then it went up here, and then it paused, and then you had yesterday, you had the Fed rate meeting, you know, everybody's favorite, the Powell meeting, and it did a quick wick up, and it took all that liquidity, little liquidity grab, and then it moved down. But this is what's hilarious, is yesterday I'm watching yesterday I'm keeping an eye on the market because of the meeting, okay? And this was yesterday's candle over here, okay? This was yesterday's candle over here. Well, let me fix that course a little bit. Yeah, over here was the Fed meeting candle, so it, boom, wicked up, and it stopped our little challenge account. No big deal. We took an L on that one. And I watched it in the afternoon. The Tokyo session. The Sydney was going on here. Pull up. Then Tokyo ripped it down. Okay. And then Hong Kong came into play. Now when I saw it come down here during the Hong Kong session, I was looking at it at a small time frame on the 5 minute, and I saw that it had a little tap of a little demand area down here on the 5 minute. And I had thought psychologically to myself, I said, okay, well, this is a nice little bounce here. Even though we're way up high in the higher time frames, this low time frame play is pretty valid. And psychologically, I had thought, okay, everybody yesterday thought that the Fed meeting had made the high. Okay, big news event, make a high. Okay, that's the high. Now we can finally short pound dollar. And it gave them the short a little bit pullback. But I know better. I have experience. See, I've seen several of these meetings go down, and several of these, you know, interest rate cuts or increase the interest rate meetings go on. And the news event is one thing, but there's always the anti. Usually what happens is if it goes up at the news event and then it pulls down, later on it'll go back up again. Vice versa. If the news event goes down and then it starts going up, it gets everybody to go long, and then later on it starts punishing them. So to make it simple, psychologically, I said, okay, well, Hong Kong might just do the dirty and take all the money of everybody that had been going short on pound dollar because of the news event. On top of the fact that we had the 5 minute demand set up. So even though we had lost $17 on the little challenge account, by taking this setup down here, we had bought here. We didn't even have a take profit at a new high. We had our take profit about 3/4 of the way up. And it's a beautiful thing to make money in your sleep. That's why I'm in this, is for the freedom. It's not for the money, it's for the freedom. And it was beautiful to be able to sleep for 5 hours, wake up with a position closed out in profit. So we had lost 17 on the little challenge account, but we made 12 just off of one micro lot, trading this 5-minute demand setup back up. So it was a thing of beauty seeing that. And then we said, okay, well, maybe that's going to be a fib play. We might take a short. We didn't. I just left it alone. And now it's playing games. It even made a new high in the open today. But that was very interesting to see. I'd like to go back and get on the laptop and do a more detailed look at that trade, because that was a lot of fun, that trade. And we'll come up with something new for the little challenge deal just for fun. Now, this is a trade that I have been stalking and hunting like crazy, is dollar setup, okay? And the same thing last night. At the same time that pound dollar showed an opportunity at the start of the Hong Kong session, so did gold. And gold, I did the same thing, but gold paid well. So gold, you have the news event over here yesterday, and then Hong Kong session down here. When I saw price go up and then pull back ever so slightly right here, but it didn't continue to go down, I bought gold right here. It's easy for me to say that. Unless you actually see the order, you'd never believe it, but that was one of them beautiful sniper entries. And I have it on the computer. And I rode gold up, went to sleep. I think my take profit probably got closed out about here, because it went a little higher than I expected. It probably closed out about here. Went a little higher than I expected. But here's the hilarious thing about gold is that was a demand setup that I had, and my take profit was at a supply area up here on the 5-minute. And I had set a short order up here at the supply area. Just a micro lot, nothing big. I said, okay, if it does end up going up here and touching the supply area, that would be a key point to short from. So we made money on the way up. Good money. Okay? And then I had one little micro lot get filled up here at the high off that supply. That's the beautiful thing about trading, is you can set these orders to where they execute when you're not there. I'm sleeping and the market's working for me last night. Last night was a thing of beauty, I'll be honest with you. It seems silly, it seems pathetic to some people, but you know, you have to exercise these conditions for you to be able to trade the market. And I let the market come to me. I'm not going to force into the market. That does nothing but get you hurt. You have to set your level, put your order in, and just let the market touch it. Just wait. Be surprised how often it gets touched. I get filled so much more often than I don't now. It's silly, you know. It can be in what some people would consider a ridiculous area, and yet it still fills the order. It still ends up going there. because I always keep in my mind that in order for me, this is like a personal saying I tell myself every day when I go into the market. I say, in order for me to make money, everybody else has to lose. So that's like what's working for me at the moment, is having that type of mentality, is just thinking, how can everybody lose and I be the only one that doesn't lose? So right now, gold, New York open, it's been 2 hours, it's been moving back up, but we got filled up here on a micro lot, and we added 2 more micro lots right here. Okay, so we've already moved them into break even, so it doesn't matter what happens now. If it comes back up to here, 25.90, okay, well, we get stopped out, but we don't lose anything. Okay, but if gold does decide to finally give out at this moment today, then we're in the trade. We can just sit easy and just wait and not be too quick to take our profits. You know, that's why talking like on that pound dollar trade that I had posted. At one point, it was like 70% of the way to our take profit. So why didn't you just close it right there? Well, that wasn't the idea behind that trading plan. You know, that trading plan was set in stone of that's how it should be. Okay. Now going back, if following it, okay, you could have seen, well, it did this, I should have gotten out here. You know, that's easy to say, but when you come up with a plan, you have to stick to it. Because if you don't, then you become a wishy-washy trader and you don't have your set rules. It seems crazy. It seems a lot to cover. We're in the money on gold right now, but gold is getting stronger and stronger. You know, there's no reason why gold can't just whoop, go right back up. So we're playing light. We're just taking it easy. We're playing small time frames for the moment until we see something large come into play. But large picture on gold, you know, nobody can tell you. If you were to try and sell gold now, right now, recent in, you know, this week or next week or last week, if you've been trying to get short on gold, nobody can tell you that you're an absolute idiot. They can't. Because at the very least, at least you're not trying to short gold at all-time lows. Okay? At least you're shorting gold when it's at a high, which is what you're supposed to do. You want to sell high and buy low. So you might not be giving it enough room to breathe. You might be trying to catch a top. But if you're getting in just bit by bit, very small, you know, position yourself against having a big drop in gold, then you're doing just fine, because at least you're not selling the lows. Okay, you know, if gold dropped down to $18.80 an ounce, and then you try to short it from there, that's not the time to short. You want to short now when you're high in a high time frame range. Okay, that's when we're looking for shorts. That's when I'm looking for shorts. I'll just be honest. It doesn't matter what anyone else does. You have to focus on your style. But gold was the thing of beauty. Pound dollar had a beautiful trade last night on the 5-minute, but it was slightly disappointing that the challenge trade had been stopped out. But pound dollar had a nice little setup last night. Gold was excellent trade last night. That was beautiful. You know, just going with the market on taking the money. And that's pretty much what last night's trade during the Hong Kong session summed up to. If you were short on gold yesterday, and your stop was a trailing stop loss, or your stop was below the high, okay, and you got stopped out last night while you were sleeping during the Hong Kong session, you just have to keep in mind that, you know, each marketplace, they're working together against you, okay? So if enough money, if the euro market can put enough money down on the table, okay, then the next market to come into play, the New York market, when they come into play, they're going to take that money. You think they care about the Europeans? They don't care. They just care about the money that they put up in the market. Same with the Asian market. They cannot wait to see what the Americans have put down on the table. And they're going to take it. That's why you always think, like, how come my trade always gets stopped out when I'm sleeping? Or how come it's always some weird crap going on during the Asian sessions? Well, because the Asian sessions, they just come in and they see where the money's at. They wake up, they get to the market, they say, oh, look what New York market did. I bet they got all their stops over here. Let's go get them. Let's go take that money. And they do just that, day in, day out, over and over and over again. So when that happens to you enough times, then you start developing the habit of, okay, I don't want that to happen to me again. I have got to position myself to where they can't get me, or make it to where I'm going with them, you know. So, hate me all you will. Last night, I joined the Hong Kong session on taking other people's money, but that's the markets. It is brutal out here. That sounds so mean and rash, and it wasn't a lot of money. I'm just saying that that's how you have to approach it sometimes. But I went off on a bit of a tangent. But Walmart, it's behaving as told. It's looking good. I like Walmart. Tesla, filling out that gap. Beautiful, beautiful job, Tesla. Beautiful. And we love everybody. And I will talk to everybody on the next time. Peace.